Good morning, everyone. Can you believe that it's Lent already? Lent, that 40-day period leading up to Easter, when God asks us to really spend some time focusing on Him, feeling Him in our hearts, and getting rid of all the distractions around us that sometimes keep us separated from God. That's why in Lent, we often talk about giving something up. And it's supposed to be hard, so it has to be something we like not giving up kale or broccoli for Lent, which is what Reverend Jim would like to do. We talk about giving up maybe a favorite treat, like chocolate or McDonald's, or giving up time on our favorite electronic devices. That would be hard. But those things distract us from God. They kind of make a shell between our hearts and our minds and God, and it makes it harder for us to feel God and be close to Him. And that's why we give up those things for Lent. It doesn't happen quickly. That's why Lent's 40 days. It takes time and it takes patience to get close to God. And I have a little science experiment here that's going to help us understand how that works. And it's going to take some patience, so bear with me. I've got an egg, a regular egg, not cooked, just a plain old goopy egg. Now, this egg has a hard shell, right? Now, if we wanted to get through the shell so that God could reach the inside, our hearts, what could we do? We could smush it, but I'm not going to, because what would happen? The egg would be ruined. It would be broken and wasted, and it would all dribble out. And that's not what we want to happen to our hearts. But I'm going to put the egg, and you can try this at home. Gently, I'm going to put it in a cup. And I'm going to take some plain white vinegar. And I'm going to cover my egg all the way up with vinegar. And that's it. Oh, except for the hard part. I have to be patient. Not something I'm good at. I have to wait for 24 hours before I can come back and see what happened to this egg. Oh man, that was a long wait, wasn't it? Patience is a virtue, or so they tell me. So do you remember what we talked about yesterday? We talked about distractions being like a shell that gets in between us and God and kind of blocks our heart and our minds off from hearing God. And what we want to do during Lent is soften our hearts, open them up to God, so we can hear and feel what He really wants for us and what He really wants us to do. And that is where my egg comes in. So remember our egg? We put it in the vinegar yesterday. It is transformed. Oh my goodness. I get all this foamy stuff off it. There's no more hard shell. The egg is squishy and soft. It bounces like a rubber ball. There's no more hard shell. God could easily get into this nice soft heart. It's softened. And that's what Lent does for us. When we focus on God in prayer and in thought and in our actions for these next 40 days, we soften our hearts up so God can easily get to what's inside, and we can easily feel Him working within us. Isn't that amazing? Oh, Let's say a prayer. Loving God, help us to focus on you this Lenten season. Help us to soften our hearts, to let you in, so we can truly feel you at work, and so we can do the work you want us to do. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Aww.